Now, somebody commented on the channel yesterday, they were mystified why I said when I went to Chisinau, in fact, I think it's called Chisinau, and I said there just wasn't much to do. So I thought I'd make a quick video about it. And in actual fact, if you look at the channel, you'll notice there's a new playlist called My Old Recollections or something like that. And in this playlist, I'm going to reminisce about some of the places I've been and tell you about them from the dating perspective and also from the vibe perspective and what it's like. So I went to Chisinau, or Chisinau. I think it must have been about 8 years ago. So things might have changed since then. And the overriding impression of the actual place itself was there just literally wasn't much to do. Now, the main street, Stefan cel Mare, or Stefan cel Mar, you walk down there, and what I do remember is two main things. And I'm not knocking or denigrating Chisinau, because I did like the place. I liked it a lot. But there's a couple of things I remember. First thing is there's quite a few potholes. And the second thing is there is an enormous and inexplicable preponderance of phone shops selling one type of phone. I have no idea why, but literally every third shop on the main street was a phone shop, and I don't know why. And there's also loads of historical buildings there, government buildings, that kind of thing. It's a lovely long road, and it's quite nice to walk down. You know, you can avoid the potholes, but there was a lot of phone shops. So that's the first thing I remember. Now, there's a lot of traditional restaurants, Chisinau restaurants, Moldovan restaurants. And I went to quite a few of these. I stayed there about a month, and I really enjoyed the food there. They got lovely chicken creamy dishes with rice. That's basically what I had. Oh, and the Moldovan wine is very, very tasty and super cheap as well. Now, in terms of sort of walking around there, then, if you went there with a view to doing day game, I think it's quite difficult because, as I said, over time, the sort of lack of things to do can wear you down a little bit unless you've met a girl there, right? So one of the things that I did do while I was there, I went to the restaurants, like I said, I walked down the main street, and I actually went to look at the War Museum. And it's very interesting. You saw all this sort of old Soviet-style tanks and things like that. But that's really something that you can only do for one day. You're not going to keep going to the same place inanely, to the same War Museum every day, like you're in some sort of time loop. You're not going to do that. So those are the three things that I did. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering what the women are like. Moldovan women, very beautiful women. I did actually meet a very, very attractive girl there. I think she was about 29. I can't remember her name now. And I used to have pictures of her, but I'm not going to put them up because I don't do that anymore. She was a very, very beautiful, dark-haired girl. And I'll tell you a bit about that. So I met her on Tinder, actually, not through day game, on Tinder. And we went on quite a few dates. So the first date, we went to a restaurant and we were talking, this and that. And it went very well. But I didn't sleep with her or anything like that. And then on the second date, another restaurant. I'm fairly certain I had some wine. She had a drink as well. And then, we went back and did the deal, so to speak. Now, she was a very nice girl. And we went to all the coffee shops around there, the restaurants, and I was with her for basically 3 weeks. Had a great time. I will tell you, in the last week, she said, such a lovely man like you really should buy me some perfume. And I thought, you know what, I should buy her some perfume. So you can call me a simp all you like. I don't care, whatever. So I bought this lovely Moldovan girl some perfume because she asked for it. And actually, I think her misunderstanding or her confusion, it was like the Looney Tune cartoons where they're going like, she was probably like, why he'll not buy me perfume, like on day one or something. In that part of the world, and I've been around Eastern Europe for many, many, many years, 15 years now, all told, altogether, they do expect, especially in the more traditional places, you to buy stuff for them. When I lived in Bulgaria, for example, I lived in Sofia for about a year, all told, because I was actually working there. And some of the girls that I saw there, they were telling me that, the local guys had bought them a house, near the mountains, Vitosha Mountains, things like that. It's quite common there. So buying some perfume for a girl that I liked and so on was perfectly fine with me. So the place itself, it's lovely, it's pretty, you know. And when I said potholes on the main street, there are not that many. They might have been filled in by now. And you know, think about England. There's potholes everywhere, so not a big deal. But just wasn't much to do in terms of nightlife and general, you know, daytime activities. Now, for example, if you were to contrast that with somewhere like Warsaw, it's packed full of things you can do. You can go to the zoo, you can go on days out with your mates and get absolutely rip-roaring drunk, which I did quite a lot. There's museums, and I'm showing my lack of knowledge about Warsaw now. There's a whole bunch of things to do. There's go-karting, I did that as well. So there's a lot more variety of things to do in Warsaw, for example. So overall, my recommendation is, you know, it's not the best place in the world to do approaching women in the daytime, but the people there are lovely. It's got a lot of history there, but there are better locations for that kind of thing if that's what you're after. So I'll see you in the next Steve Jabba recollection.